Are you a targeted individual who feels that you're being gang stalked? Hey, I'm Lance the PI, a private investigator for over 25 years and a police officer for over 10. For years, I was getting calls from people who had evidence of being gang stalked, but I just thought it was all a mental illness until I dug deeper into it to figure out that there's a whole group of people who are being gang stalked. They're targeted individuals due to different techniques used. And I share those techniques and resources, and I have a gang stalking forum. The link is in the video description. So today what we're going to do is we're going to read some comments that we found on Reddit. There's a whole community of gang stalkers on Reddit. And so we're going to read some of these comments and then the replies to the comments. And you put in the comments what if you're being gang stalked or not, how you feel about it, and what you say is real or what is not real. So let's dig into it. Okay, so here is the gang stalking community. They've got a video there that says unavailable, and it says intimacy gone forever. 30-year-old female been targeted for over 3 months. I'm struggling with the idea that my mental privacy from RNL and the DEWs is forever, and I won't be able to have intimacy with someone ever again. My perpetrators are clearly perverts too, so I don't even feel comfortable with the idea having a family now either. I've lost motivation to meet anyone or share intimacy of any kind. And actually, when I hung out with a guy last, I felt catastrophic. But then obviously I'm grieving too because it's something I've always wanted. I never was able to give up completely on love. I never was the type to give up completely on love, but now I see that it's really going to struggle for that amidst all the other stuff I've got to keep together. I really just want to do full force into exposing this technology and the psychopaths that use it. It's really awful to think that I could let this destroy my desire for procreation and companionship, but truly it's drastically changed my outlook on love and life. I don't want to give them a chance to target my children one day if I have them and or romantic partner, but I also don't want them to win. Okay, so it got 24 upvotes. It has 56 comments. So let's just see what some of the comments are here. They want you to be miserable. Don't give them the satisfaction. They're living a life of being unloved, really. They need to stalk women to feel superior because their own women are not going to do it for them. They're lacking it either way. I still have a man and I still make love to him. If they watch, they are likely going to HELL for being so gross. They hate themselves. Their parents don't really love them that much either, honestly. I think about my kids and love my kids so much I would never allow my kid to sink so low in life. Just think rich people scrape the bottom of the bucket for them to do such dirty jobs. Anyone with respect for themselves and their loved ones would never do such a thing. They're damaging themselves at the same time. Watch that God does to them. They will be crying extremely one day. Okay, it's difficult if they sleep deprive you. It's easier said than done. I know how this feels due to them trying to sleep deprive. I cover myself up with blankets so they can't see me. Also, I sometimes use an ice pack just in case I feel overheated. It may not work for everyone, but it has for me. I can guarantee they read these comments too to see how we manage. I use to the noise they make for the most part. I also sleep to loud Bible verses as I sleep. God is my savior. Okay, so let's break off just a little bit and talk about sleep deprivation. This is what I've been told is they make noise to get you so you can't sleep. So there's different things you can get. You can get earplugs, you can get headphones, you can play like white noise to try to block out their sound so that you can get some sleep. Now, it could be a mental thing, it could not be. I'm not making any assumptions either way. But for people that have trouble sleeping because of the noise that's going on, getting, a white noise recorder or something like that to play in the background to help you get some sleep. Now I'm gonna have a link in the video description of a white noise machine that I use. Because I have what's called tinnitus, because I was in the military for years and police officer and loud noises, and I have a constant ringing in my ears. Constant. Like right now, it's in my ears. Now, am I a victim of gang stalking? I'm not saying I am. I'm saying it's because of the the noises that I was exposed to, plus growing up playing loud music in my car, things like that. So I know I got hearing problems. So let's get back into it. Here's the next one. The sleep deprivation is so rough, they keep me up for 4 or 5 days once. That's ultimately what led me to the hospital for one of my stays. Well, that and all the stalking, but the consecutive days of being awake is really tough and makes managing everything else impossible. Even going one day without sleep is a challenge. Yeah, sleep is a big issue. Here's another one. As a female, I feel the same way too. You cannot trust people anymore. That's why my goal is to go out my country and try to start a new life with new people. Hopefully to get married too. These gang stalkers are effing miserable to destroy somebody's life. Agreed. It blows my mind this happened to so many people, yet the people that don't experience it call us crazy, which is true. They do. They're uneducated buttholes. I'm a female that lives with it every day, and the fact people have access to such technology is absolutely disgusting. I know God will judge them when their time is up. Just imagine what type of person it takes to do such a thing to others. The one that it does it to me are the low lives and have nothing going for them, so they just have to take a disgusting job like that to exist. These people are not happy with themselves. Most don't know real love. Now, in reference to taking a job, see, I've read that there are agencies that hire people to do this. So if you look up like street theater, role playing job, acting jobs, and I wrote an article, I'll put a link in the description as well, the article I wrote about some of these companies that actually hire actors. And some of them are legitimate jobs. I can't say either way because in the description it says like working for law enforcement, because when I was a police officer, when we did situations, we didn't hire actors. We just had other officers play the role of a victim, somebody's hurt, things like that. But, some agencies, they may hire actors to come in and play those roles. So that's just a little bit about that. That most likely won't help, so I wouldn't devote your last dollar to it. But let me see, did I miss something? Okay, here, agreed. It blows my mind this happened to so many people, yet the people that don't experience it all cause it's crazy. Okay, we already read that. Dear TI friend, do you know that these remote V2K and RNM and other harassment are everywhere in the world? When I go from USA to Russia, these remote tortures never stop. So on the international flights and in Russia, also V2K are in different languages. I am a TI since 2008 in the US for my excellent work results, which is not accessible in the US criminal corporations. So V2K is like equipment used to brainwash you, is what they say. So, you see people walking around with aluminum foil hats and stuff like that. Some of them have mental problems. Let's get it twisted. A lot of people have mental problems. But then the CIA has programs that they've already had to tell the truth about, where they were experimenting on the U.S. public. Literally, they were experimenting on us. So why isn't that real? Okay, let's keep going. Maybe someone who's going through the same thing or fighting against it, but I understand constant harassment makes you not trust anyone and fear looking crazy. Okay, that's what happens when you do, if you try to report, because literally this person tried to report this to the police, they're not going to do anything. So it's literally you have to take steps in your life to deal with it. And if that means getting ear blocking stuff to stop the noise, playing white music to stop to drown out the noise so you can get some sleep, that's what you have to do. Here's another one. Yes, I am having a really hard time trusting anyone again after my gang stalking experiences. It started with me going to church and I thought I was going to get married. Ended up completely ruining my life as I knew it. I can't trust family or make any friends. I will say it gets easier learning how to be alone and keep myself company. but I still long for someone to complete me and sometimes someone to give me love too. I've been praying more, fasting more, and the more likely I get closer I get to God, which is crazy because I already felt it so close before this started. 5 years now. I could not have made it through these trials without God. And glory and praise all goes to him. Thank you, Jesus. DM me if you want to share your experiences. See, there's another person that's going through the same situation. Now, I have a forum on my website where you can share your experiences on my website as well. There's a link in the description. Been doing this for 10 years now and have 2 children. They will harass your exes as well. It's best to pretend it's not happening and a shit ton of tinfoil it renders I openly what not happening. A shit ton of tinfoil IR readers. I openly yell about it and cause problems, only make things worse. Trust me, half of the people on here are probably part of the problem, so don't say too much. The guy talking about a PO boxes has it best. We are monitored in every way, and basically they feed off this guy. He's no other reason for it. Okay. I go about my life as if it's not, but online I spread awareness for now. I am going go back to school and try build a career when I can fight back and get justice. I don't have children. It's the only thing I want to do now is get some fucking justice. It's not for me. Then for the innocent children that could be targeted next. I always wanted to be a mom though, or at least in it was always a strong desire. I feel like I'm just grieving that now because I know I could never have kids while being targeted with this. But yes, feels the same way I will never let a woman undress. But yes, feels the same way I will never let a woman undress in any motel apartment or anything. I have completely died in that department. I don't even take care of myself. I'm just crazy. Stray cat I found. Don't let them. Hold on a sec. This is just too small. Let me try to raise the font up. Maybe I can see better. I always wanted to be a mom though, or at least it was always strong desire. I feel like I'm just grieving that now because I could never have kids while being targeted like this. Another person. But yes, feel the same way. I will never let a woman undress in a motel room, apartment, or anything. I have completely died in the apartment, even if I take care of myself or just stay straight cat. All right, let's see. It's very sexual so far, and unfortunately, there was another man and his young daughter undergoing the same thing by the same perps just before I got targeted. I'm pretty sure it's a human trafficking ring and some corrupt law enforcement potentially involved. I feel this more epic than I think. It's narcissistic people feeding off people's emotions and a psycho he prevents it, but it's okayed by government. Don't go for cops made case file reports, apartments to ICE, not for illegals or business practices. Us talking right now is too much, I feel. I've made such a game of it. I feel like I can get away with almost anything when I fuck with them back. Half of them are mentally incompetent. Okay. And it says, what did you first notice when you were targeted? Over 3 months ago, I mostly get microwave auditory effect, acoustic heterodyning. I don't know what that means. Do you know why or have any idea why someone would want to do this? I'm a 30-year-old female also, and it's been so insane for me now. People are obsessed. I'm sorry you're going through this bullshit too. I've been going through this since summer of 2019. Have you guys had street theater, people following? I have RNM and V2K. Street theater everywhere, even family now. People following physically and digitally. House robbed and surveilled. Was made homeless before also. Okay, murder attempts. Mine was worse in Massachusetts and Florida, but I'm sorry, miss. I pray we all get peace within our lifetimes. We are still young and should have our whole lives ahead of us. Try to be careful of getting paranoid. I believe the V2K and RNM are meant to make the victim feel like they're being stalked more than they actually are. That doesn't negate from the fact that tech is real and being used. Okay, just a couple one-liners. What is it your family does that makes you suspect them? And did they start when you realized you were being targeted or before? Okay, I believe it's human trafficking. My best guess is organized criminals that want to compose your life in the least detectable way possible so you're more successful at being trafficked. And it says, one, I've been for a year now. What part of the country? US. I'm in Florida, Georgia. Here's another person. I'm confused. I'm sorry, fam, that you feel this way. I understand. I was being harassed by the US government since 2021 and still they are harassing me. They isolate you and keep you from making real friends in life. They also harass you daily. I'm not sure if they will ever go away unless the person doing it is fired, ages out, or passes away, or somehow gets in trouble. Keep going. Another person. Just remember that even if there are people within the government involved, the government is not an entity. It is made up of people. Those bad people can and will be removed. There are lower and upper governments. There's also organized criminals. But there are still good people in the government. We need to make those aware. Another comment. Similar to me, 30-year-old female as well near LA. Well, I hope to be able to get some info and the like after I finish saving up some funds. Saving up and hopeful, most likely blessed to be Lord. I may have some good info on this and share it next month. But I have a partner too. Rocky relationship because the intimacy. But OFC, I haven't told a V2K. Hell, think I'm going crazy. See, that's the thing is you can't share this information with people because they will think you're going crazy. And it says but I hope once I get into it, then other things they because whom they are and will rid of them soon, I'll have my relationship back. Here's another. I hope you don't mind me jumping in on this conversation now. I'm a 49 Australian who's been living with these pathetic parasites for 3 years now. Every single person who I could potentially assist or potentially been interested in me or myself with them are either blocked or informed that I have something I am not. That I am something I am not. Compared to the rest of the world, Western Australia has a small population, and if you have spent your entire life here, it becomes even smaller. It will only be a matter of time before many of these imbeciles make a huge mistake again and expose for who they really are. Your young, strong women and you should be extremely pissed at the pathetic morons of doing what they're doing. I would suggest that you find each other, help each other, start bringing these inhumane morons down. Check out laws on stalking in your state. You will probably find a loophole in the law that allows these idiots to get away with this. Ask AI what the process is to change the laws of stalking harassment and start the process. Don't give hope because of these retards. They're a joke. The effort may fall on deaf ears, but hopefully there is still some decent people out there who might be able to help, and at least it will document that you have tried to bring it to the attention of the people who can stop these unstoppable murder pieces of crap. Stay safe and healthy as possible. There's still good people out there somewhere. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Documentation. So whatever you're going through, just document it. Keep a log. If you want a documentation checklist, there's a link in the video description. Another person, I'm going through something similar. The group targeted me, which are from Germany, NYC, NJ, and Connecticut, is obsessed with my potential partners, even stalking them and creating social network analysis, diagnosis about them. They use AI systems and new forms of social engineering to ruin people's lives. I've also received horrific threats involving my future children. It's serious because I know they have targeted children. I'm sorry you're going through this. Remember, document what can be verified. Stay connected and do not isolate. Another one, let's go full force together. I'm not looking to build a team because I feel the same way. It's normal to be angry, and I love that you want something about it. But you let them win if you stop living your best life in their face. I mean, why be shamed to be intimate only because they might be watching? We'll all do the same thing anyway. What I'd be worried about is making sure the person you choose to be involved with isn't an undercover perp. They're psychopaths, so they have no problem acting to ruin your life. So you have to have a method to rule that out before getting serious. Otherwise, do your best to live your best life. Personally, my faith in God helps me stay sane and protected, but it's still really difficult, especially with existing mental health issues. Pray and use discontent to the best of your abilities. Don't give into living a subpar life. As audacious as you can instead of you live your best. Trust me, they are doing their best to make it difficult as possible. fight back. Now about kids, that's a whole different issue. I can't comment on. Take it to God if you're a believer. All right, folks, that's just reading one set of comments from the gang stalking Reddit post. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and like, comment, and share. And tell me what you think about this. Have a good day.